You are Taro Yamada. At least that's what you go by in the gaming community. While not especially popular, you have a handful of friends. Tenkairu, or simply Tenkei Online, by English speakers, is a virtual full-dive online game that you started playing almost 3 years ago. The student body president, Miko Hoshino, your senpai, is standing right before you. The sun blocked perfectly by her figure. The sun rays dance around her as she turns around. A gentle breeze combs her silky hair as her lips part to speak. If I can be honest, Toro, I didn't expect you to show up when I asked to meet you. You were such a mystery to me. Not that I spent countless hours thinking about you. Most people never really listen to what I have to say, so I am just saying that you're really different, you know? You explained to her your reasonings for behaving that way, and how you aren't all that considerate to begin with. A smile stretches across her face. Admittedly, it bothers you. Yamada-kun, you're like the springtime, right? The seasons are so optimized well in this game. I feel like I can be myself here. No longer burdened with expectations and judgment. I can let the winds carry me away. The thought somewhat went over your head. Miko Hoshino is the top student in your city. The perfect princess you've heard scores of men call her. Yet, despite such praise, you've never noticed a smile on her face at school. It was only during that night where you ran into her while wearing your TK Online hat. When you first saw a smile, and the sweetness of it made you blush, like witnessing a butterfly spreading its wings for the first time. Summer is upon us already. This year has passed by so fast for me. To just think about getting into Mirai University seems like a dream. Will I be busy? Occupied with both work and school, I wonder? You're going to need to hurry and graduate, Yamada-kun. She sees a tear roll down your cheek as the realization sets in. Hoshino Senpai is graduating. You will no longer have the chance to observe her as she reads in the library. As she walks home on the same route as you take. She will be at university, a full-time student. She won't even have time to play TK with you. No. No, you can't. You won't allow this. Not without expressing your feelings towards her. You open your mouth but the word stall and your voice is gone for a moment. You reach for Mika's hand, wanting to comfort her in the only way you could think. Mika steps away in time for the falling leaves to startle you. Your eye catches a sparkle in the corner of her face. Rolling down, it eventually falls into the floor. The cherry blossoms struck her hair, and only to be observed to enhance her radiance. I'm crying because you're baka. I didn't consider that I'd have less time to play here. Forgive me, Yamada-kun. I have been so focused on trying to succeed in life and to take care of the people I love. I can understand that you could be upset with me. I'm a different girl at school. I know. Mika the Ice Queen. Mika the Water Rose. Mika Hoshino the Cold Sister. I've heard them all. I know a lot of people would think that I'm just a snob, but if you at least took the time to actually talk to me. You reached out for her hand. She turns around with finesse and purpose, like the pure red of a ballerina in mid-flight. As she turns her back to you, you notice that the sun's last salute to the world gave birth to a fiery river teeming with blossoms. Above both of you, the stars emerged from their hiding places. Remember how I told you almost a year ago that I'm not interested in friends? How I just wanted to level up here and enter the tournaments being held in Harkazan? The prize money isn't just in game, It's a real currency. I worked hard, farming enough XP to get to where I am now, on top of studying and working, all just to keep us afloat. I was content with being alone. I was content with having no friends. I did it all just to make it. But then you kept meeting up with me and checking in on me, guiding me through dungeons, and for the first time ever, someone looked at me and really looked at me as a fellow player. I suppose I am saying thank you for not running away. I ignored you outside of the game because I wanted to stay focused on my goals. But I have never taken your kindness for granted. So thank you, Yamada-kun. Thank you for staying. Though you stumbled on your words, you tell her that you will always be there for her. A kind act can always snowball fortunes for those under stress. She lets go of her composure for a moment. You can see her big eyes watering up. She regains control after a time. You both sit staring into each other's eyes. Then, a firefly happens by just as you felt the gravity pull you toward her. Suddenly, she moves her hand to her mouth, her cheeks blushing. You know, I have been thinking. We've been in the same party for months now. We clear dungeons together, eat together, we even use the same ends. So we should form a pact. Her words echo in your head for a moment. Forming a pact is the closest players can get to essentially being treated as a couple. Is it possible she's confessing? You recall her younger sister is also online. Assuming they're related, you couldn't resist asking it as you've seen her around Superior at least on a handful of occasions. My sister? Oh yeah, how to put this right. Mizu is odd. I'm a little weirded out that you've heard Mizume or whatever delusional name she's given herself. She spends about every day here. I feel like I'm just losing her to this place. You point out that like Mizu, Mika's also been online daily from the time you both met. It isn't the same, dummy. I play this game in my free time with my guild and you. That's all. Mizu practically lives here. And you know, she even stopped going to school. She won't work. She just sits in her room searching for some rare drop. Searching day and night for it. I cannot even get into her room. I have never taken things this far. You attempt to make a humorous point that Mizu is somewhat child-minded, so maybe treating her as a child could work better. But unfortunately, the notion had the opposite effect, and you could feel her scorn. I get on every day because I've been trying to find a way to save her. Her ranting takes some time to pass, but when it clears, you learn that she not only has a somewhat unexpected and troubled background. She isn't anything like the rumors say or what she shows. Her face is steaming red. The tears run down her face like a waterfall. You think to yourself about how realistic the game has become since its launch. Mika was shivering at this point, almost as if she was breaking down. You reach for her hand again, but you're stopped by the screaming from the nearby inn this time. You both run from the lake back to the Waystone Center. A second scream just to your right reveals a messy scene. Above the lantern, you see the sign of the Peking Swan. A crowd continues to form as you both make your way to see the town guard and the deceased player at the bar. An axe in his back. Shards of light blue waves explode into your vision. Many of the surrounding players, including yourself and Mika, flinched as the light spots came and went in a flash. The weight of your armor suddenly becomes more apparent. That is odd. The respawn trigger should be activating, but the body... Taro-kun, can you see your HUD? Wait, no, this isn't happening! Mika tries interacting with her interface, but like yours, it wasn't appearing for her. So, you realize that somehow, you both now are stuck in the game together. She usually is calm, but she seems a little bit frantic now. Taro-kun, most of the student body is online today. No, not just our peers, but millions of players. What about graduation? College? Our goals? Am I gonna die here? Well, what about my... Toro? Mizu is also here. Do you have a gate stone? You check your inventory and produce a single gate stone. She takes your hand and together, rushing past the crowd toward the gate of you. The swirling whirlpool in the center of the gate opened as you both go through it. The trip was over as quickly as it began, but you could still feel the light brushes of the heat, ice, and wind on your exposed skin. You take your fingers and lightly trace the outline of your veins. You can feel the softness of your skin. You see a vast landscape with a towering finger-like mountains of thick bamboo forest and the stone when you look around. Mika has someone vanish from your sight. Aside the gate is a distraught boy, attempting in vain to access his menu. Toro-kan, over here! My sister's in this region. It's nice to see we can still use quick travel. You are a higher level than me, so I expect you to be my guide. I am still your senpai, so don't get any dumb ideas. TK Online resembles the real world with a noticeable exceptions of magic and the traditional fantasy races. You've read through enough manga to know that if you die here, then you are dead in real life as well. So you recall that the game has a few other features, like how each character made for TK Online comes with a personality, each distinct. You conclude since you're both now stuck in this world, on top of your personalities from the real world. Naturally, must come the game's world's version as well. Miko Hoshino chose perhaps a unique character. Above her name and level you see Yandere Complex. You laugh to yourself for a moment, remembering that most of these titles are mostly for the emotes and are not exactly for what defines personality. For a time, you both travel along the gravel road on foot. She hasn't spoken to you in what feels like an hour, or perhaps two. Toro-kan, do you know I messaged you that day? When you were in Madrai, fighting for Lady Gao. I saw you online. I was honestly taken aback by how fast you were leveling up in this game. Level 28 was once considered top tier for only a few weeks ago, but now... you've now surpassed that. At level 65, I thought to myself again, Yamada is really something else. He fights and fights without looking back. I've always admired that, you know. Something about that. It's really an excellent quality to have. I don't see you much in school, so I don't know exactly how you behave when it comes to your studies. But if you could apply to yourself like that during the entrance exams for university, we could end up in the same college. Hoshino-senpai was blushing, her ears especially a bright tomato red. You puff out your chest and proudly proclaim to be the top C student in the entire school. She laughs as you both continue walking. After some time, you check your map of the region. Your inventory items all feel like real things in your hands. The potions, gems, and even their weighs, when held, felt right, and their weight in your rucksack felt if only a handful of odd items were present. The map reads out Sung Tra Mountain Valley. You see a mark where Hoshino-senpai last saw her sister Mizu. You can feel your eyes getting heavy as the sun sets in your region. You let out a yawn as your senpai looks on. We should make camp for tonight. I have the kid stone already charged. You can stay in my tent until we can perform a proper party. Over the sounds of your objections, Mika tosses the stone at a nearby clearing. And after the dust settled, you see that her camp was set up impressive for someone who's only at level 32. The heat of the fire pit brushed against your face as the wood cracked slowly, releasing thousands of embers into the starry sky. Toro-kan, I meant what I said. You can sleep in my tent. I really do not mind. You politely decline. The look on her face is one of the smugness and a bit of hurt pride as she steps a bit closer to you. No, are you afraid of sleeping next to a girl? You are tired. There's only one sleep slot. Stop being such a weeb and sleep with me already. Her eyes widened, and she blushed for a moment before collecting herself. I am getting something to drink. I am too tired to speak right. Do what you want. Toro-kan, I'm going to bed. Meanwhile, as Mika sets her sleeping bag down, she turns back to look at you huddled near the fire, staring into the flames. She rubs her arm and lies down. While laying there, she starts to allow her thoughts to flow. It's not like I meant it like that. I meant just sleeping next to me is all. Toro is sweet, but I wouldn't just sleep with him. No, we would need to get married first. Yeah, that's right. He has to confess. That's all. It's that simple. Boys confess to me all the time. Girls, stop thinking about this. We need to figure out how to get home first. Okay, think, Mika. The registry said that Mizu and the others were all online. I know that Mizu is somewhere in the valley. But, no. She couldn't be dead. No, she wouldn't show up as active. And again, the game's probably changed in some way. Mika faded to dreamland as she continued to think. You, however, stayed up throughout the night, analyzing everything you could. Finally, 7 hours passed by. Just about the same in real time. The weather is dynamic, from a rolling fog to light showers in an overcast sky. And you feel snug, thinking the fire's still burning while your eyes are still closed. You reach for the firewood. Instead of the bristled, mundane feeling of the wood, you feel a soft orb and a light moan. You open your eyes and you can see a wide-eyed Mika laying on top of you. Your hand is firmly clenching her breast, and your senpai is hyperventilating. What the hell do you think you're doing, Toro-kun? The following morning was a painful one, but educational. You learn that the damage is entirely on a scale with real life. Her fists may be tiny, but they pack a devastating blow. Your eye is entirely swollen shut after she gave you the beating of your life. Walking along the gallery roads, you both pass by citizens of the realm. Dark elf farmers moving their goods across the hills and toward cities to sell for profit. A light rain breaks out as you both take cover beneath a mushroom tree. Its cloud-like canopy shielded you both from the showers. Some other elves soon gathered around, traffic coming to a temporary halt. I'm sorry about the black eye. You look back at your senpai and see that she's blushing, so you apologize for grabbing her chest. The fault is mine. I had a bad dream and I guess I climbed into your tent. I was intruding. You both turn toward each other as if to speak at the same time. I guess I should let you go first, Toro-kun. Please, by all means. You take the time to explain all the emotions you were having earlier. A mild, mixed confusion of hope, disgust, and self-pity run through your soul. You tell her how she isn't to blame for what happened, and how you sometimes have trouble conveying things in the right way. Before long, you realized you were just rambling on and on. Perhaps in some vain hope to get her to understand that you were an awkward doofus. I understand if it's not too foreign. I didn't hate it. I was just caught off guard. You stare at her for a few moments. She looked at the flowing stream below. As you reach for her hand, one of the bystanders presses something soft against your back. Hey, big boy. What's this I hear about grabbing chests? You some kind of perv? The woman behind you was rubbing her large sweater bags against your back while blowing air against the back of your neck. No fair. Why play with those small, pitiful excuses for pillows when you can grope these melons anytime you want? Just a few silver drinks, and we can party all night. The moment you were going to move away, you see your senpai standing and glaring with a renewed anger with her unusual smile, making it far more terrifying. Hey, pointy ears, get your saggy bags away from my underclassmen right now. Or I'll rip those floppy melons off your chest and feed them to the snow trolls on Mount Hun. I would like to see you try, human. I don't have time for a little girl. The office cut mid-sentence as Hoshino-senpai suddenly launched herself at you, punching you in the face and causing your head to slam into the elf's face. As you both fall, she grabs your right shoulder, causing you to turn around. Then as you fall, you can see where you are landing. Silence fills the road. Even the rain seemed quieter. Torokan is mine, you filthy slut. What? Torokan, what the hell do you think you're doing? You taste a sweet nectar, a taste unique in the world it seems. When you open your eye, you realize what you're tasting. Then you push yourself away. The realization sets in as the elf is blushing red. Startled. And her legs tremble as she looks at you like a dog in heat. Hoshino's senpai death glare fixes upon you. Answer me, sweet Torokan. Do you play with all your women like this? Do you make them feel 1,000 burning feelings just to toy with them? Watching you lick her like that pisses me off. An enraged Mika slams her fist into the ground in a zealous fit, and the impact threw you several feet away. Already a narrow pass, the gallery roads in this map are pretty tightly packed as it is. And soon, you find yourself on loose ground. The look of regret flashed in Hoshino senpai's eyes as you fell. You think of your success and failures while in freefall. The fear of what to come overcomes you, still even after getting trapped in this game you'll hold back. You regret not pushing yourself more in your studies. You regret giving up on all of those times in the past. Even with the right mood, you failed to confess to her. Now it has come to an end. Accidentally taken out by the girl who you dreamed of being with. What a failure this life has turned out to be. What a failure.
Failure? You've been saying that over and over for the past few days, bro. I barely just started. Unless we're talking about you here, then I don't know. Falling from a mountain is a pretty impressive feat.
You wake up covered in bandages, as a young girl is sitting next to you with a vibrantly happy expression. You call her senpai, then Mika-san, as you realize she saved you somehow from the fall. Then, after thanking her, you unleash your regrets at her all at once.
Wait. I'm not following.
Your head is spinning, but you tell Miko Hoshino, your student council president, fellow party member, and friend, that you love her and always have. Mika blushes after taking all that in that you said.
これは厄介だね. Okay, so I'm not Mika. I am Mizuhime, the destroyer. Fear my might.
You turn your head to the right and point at the pillow resting along the wall. You ask her with a calm voice to smother you kindly.
No, come on. It's an honest mistake. We are twins. It's not exactly easy to tell us apart. Huh. So you are Yamada-kun. Yeah, I think I saw your name on the leaderboards just before this game went sword art on us. I think I kinda remember you IRL as well.
You see that her lair was, in reality, a simple valley shack, ignoring the now massive hole in the ceiling caused by your fall. You notice that you are rather close to what looks to be a well.
You fell from Mount Mindao right into my lair. I was honestly thinking of just throwing you into the dark abyss I built a few days ago, but thought this might be some event I haven't experienced yet.
Her almost witness blunt speaking aside, you were slowly realizing what Mika was speaking about when she was telling you that her sister seemed off.
Why were you talking about failures in your sleep? Something on your mind, kid?
Although you find it annoying that she called you kid, you respond.
Oh wow, that's like really heavy. Can you move? Here, let's try something.
The panic sets in as Mizu climbs into your legs. She then takes hands pressed against your chest. A warmness begins to spread all over as she looks on with a smile that is both devilish, yet cheerful. The room darkens and light appears from almost nothing. Thousands of little orbs floating around you like a slow, moving vortex.
You are a high enough level for this spell! Yamada-kun, you are a ranked hero! This is perfect! Yes!
You ask what she's getting excited about.
Hotaru no yobigoi desu! You know how the game has trapped us here, yeah? It isn't just us. Our worlds have finally merged into one! TK Online is real life. Real life is TK Online. Magic exists here. Dwarves, trolls, dragons, all of it. That means the special spells and items are real as well. Now hurry up and heal so we can get going.
The fireflies continue their slow dance as Mizu gathers scrolls in a frenzy. Upon further inspection, you can tell she hasn't left her lair in days. Your thoughts sink back into Mika and the tearful expression of regret on her face. As she caused the fall, you call for Mizu.
What is it, Yamada-kun? I have things to prepare and foes to destroy. Let's go!
After seeing the serious look on your face, she puts down the bag and sits near you. Feeling your strength return, you finally manage to sit up. You explain Mika's concern and frustration with how Mizu has been behaving. As you go on, for the first time, Mizu isn't smiling.
My sister pushed you off a mountain and you're really going to sit here and preach about how caring she is? Either you are the greatest fool I know, or you are the most genuinely kind human being I've ever met.
You laugh nervously. She shares in the brief joy with a quick smile.
We are stuck here together in this new reality. I am glad she still cares. I know we expressed some painful words last time we saw each other back then, but I cannot focus on her right now. This melding of worlds honestly is the best thing to have ever happened to me in a long time. She wants a way back into the past. I want to look to the future. We look the same, but the reality is, we are different.
With that, Mizu Hoshino removes her maid's robe, revealing her undergarments. She gives you a devilish smile.
Perv. Close your eyes or falling from the mountain will be the last of your issues.
Successfully crowned, you close your eyes as Mizu undresses. You hear some rumbling as she gathers a new outfit.
Yamada-kun, has she told you about her family? If no, then she isn't being completely honest with you. She puts on this image of control and collected coolness, but Mika is sensitive. A bit clingy. Actually, very clingy. She loves with her all, and at times, it has to fight with that boss bitch that is her anger. She runs from her failures. It's how she stops herself from breaking. I do not run from them. I chase them down and shoot them dead with my arrows. I strive to succeed, and I think you should too.
She places her hands on your cheek. The soft, smooth skin soothes pain in your neck.
I think if anyone can chase her down, it would be you. She thinks so as well, in case you didn't know. I read her blog about you. It's honestly a little creepy for my taste, but hey, she's a lovebird.
You ask her where she plans to go. She looks at the swirling vortex of lights.
The fireflies say we must go west, to the lands of Madrai. There's a swamp I need to visit for a rare item. Once I get my hands on it, I think then I can finally see Mika. She can see that I'm not crazy. I'm normal, and she can breathe easier knowing that.
You couldn't help but notice the strange markings around Mizu's neck. One of the lights makes its way down to your eyes. Despite being so small, the firefly produced a powerful light, and it was blinding so close to your eyes. Mizu pulls you forward and hands you several scrolls.
I think I will give you a new title since you're going to be in my party as my subordinate. As Mizuhime the Destroyer, I dub you the first of my heavenly kings. I made you a king. Don't get any weird ideas. This doesn't mean you're my king. You serve me while we are a team. Now get up. We need to go and kill stuff.
You and Mizu make your way out of her lair, which you were correct about it being nothing more than a hermit shack. You continue with her, crossing streams, climbing small hills, just to find a bigger one behind it. Camping under the starry skies, listening to her sing a tune or two. Something came over you, a wash of curiosity. Perhaps just not saying anything was getting awkward. While laying down, you toss and turn with your eyes closed, the silence eating away at you. You ask Mizu, why did she start calling herself the Destroyer? As you got no immediate response, you roll over and accidentally press your face into Mizu's chest. She had been facing this way for some time. You conclude. You panic. Without thinking, you grab both and push yourself away. Mizu's eyes are wide and almost void of the goofball kindness she always had.
Was this your plan all along, Yamada-kun? Get me all alone in the middle of the woods, talk down my walls, and then make your move on this hot bod of mine? Huh? That's low, you psychopath. But I respect the balls you've grown.
Mizu disappears from your sight. You sit up, looking for her, but instead, she lands a crushing blow on your ribs and forces you down onto your back.
Too bad I have to crush them now.
A faint light began to spark from her palm. Then it grew into a more raging current of lightning. Then, just as she was about to bring it down on you, you instinctively press your hands forward.
You pervert! How dare you! I am Mizuhime, not Mika. You can't just go around grabbing boobas like that with me, you jerk. You're my kohai. Who the heck do you think you are?
You try to explain that it was an accident, and you're still trying to get used to the new reality. She seemed to calm down, partially, but kept you at sword point. She was flushed red. She would look at you, then look away. You decide to ask her once more, now that you both are awake.
I think you just saw why I call myself the Destroyer. I am level 175 in destruction magic, my dude. I can turn a troll, goblin, and even a dragon into ashes. One time, in Variten, I even took on a blood dragon. I'm a bit of a bad behind you!
You turn around with your dagger, prepared to only see a bouncing slime come toward you both. Although glowing green, and making cutesy bouncing sounds, it wasn't scary. You laugh and say it's just a slime, but upon turning, you see Mizu hiding behind a fallen tree, staring intensely at the slime.
Yama-kun! Kill it, please!
You listen to her and tell her to calm down, but she continues to whine, on the verge of tears. After killing the slime, you sit on the other side of the rock, giving her time to recollect. Also, it was pretty embarrassing for you to see her like that. It must be nothing compared to what she's probably feeling.
Hey, Yama-kun, can you carry me, please? We need to get going and
You carry Mizu on your back. She's still shaking heavily. You decide to start telling her about yourself. Maybe it was selfish, but she was so shaken up. You didn't know what else to talk about.
I don't understand you, Yama-kun. You're completely different from what Mika-chan thinks of you. Sure, you can be kinda dumb, weak, and overall perverted, but I think that's just your awkwardness. You're so kind, genuine, even when you mess up. I can see why she likes you. I still don't understand these feelings yet, if I'm honest.
You ask her to repeat that. The part about Senpai liking you.
You have to be kidding me, dude. Of course she does. The Ice Queen doesn't just like anyone. Do you know how many boys she's turned down? More than anyone I know. But she's been hanging with you for like, what, a year or two now?
You ask her how many boys have asked her out.
This isn't about me. And besides, that answer is less entertaining. Mika's the one everyone is attracted to, not me. So, it doesn't matter. No one cares or notices, so it's okay. Not even when I stop showing up to school. Mika is the brightest star in the night sky. I'm just the rain. No one likes the rain. That's fine with me. All I need is my powers. With them, I can be with the people who care for me.
Seeing as they are identical down to their choice in fingernail polish, you decide to tell her that you find her not only interesting, but cute.
What? Stop saying weird sappy stuff. It's because I look like Mika. That's why you're saying that.
You stubbornly insist that you find Mizu cute in her own way, even though it's true you like her older sister. If it was just Mizu you had met, and not Mika, you'd fall in love all the same.
Really? You mean that? Truly? If you're lying to me, Yama-kun!
She preps a ball of lightning, but you nervously reaffirm your statement. The ball dissipates, and a massive smile across her face forms. The moonlight lit most of the way during your travels. As you two talked, your confidence has somewhat grown. The sounds of the creaking river flowing beside the night path and the wild synced.
A spirit came to me a few weeks ago. In a dream, she told me about this melding of worlds. How and when it was going to happen. It was so weird at the time because I didn't panic. I was so calm. I asked if the magic of this world will become reality. She told me yes. Conjuration magic is what I'm most interested in. I spent hours farming XP, reading scrolls. Eventually, it became hard to tell either world apart. I think that's when I got scared.
You feel her hand slowly glide up your back and towards your throat. Though you could not see it, you somehow knew she was rubbing the markings on her throat. The loose soil and peat of the swamps mushed as you pressed forward. The light of the moon began to fade as you ventured onwards, until nothing but total darkness.
Come on, please, come on.
Mizu let herself down. Standing beside you, she waited in the darkness, and waited.
The item is a staff that can resurrect spirits into mortal form. The Staff of Grand Sulu.
Thousands of faint lights came into your side view, swarming you both in a vortex of embers. You recall the Staff of Grand Sulu was an ancient mage weapon used by the conjuration users. A gift from the god Grand Sulu, the god of love, life, and justice. Beautiful colors formed a vortex following a path carved out of the darkness. Excitedly, Mizu grabs your hand and beelines the tunnel.
It's here! Yama-kun! Look, just ahead!
A stone formation was at the end of the tunnel. The firefly's lights flickered at this point, almost as if their light could not go past this formation. As you both make it near the end, your grip fails, and you trip on a tree root. When you look up, you see Mizu, standing at the empty altar, the fireflies behind her.
No, no, no! It was just here! It was just here! Yama-kun! Where did it go?
Mizu's hand clipped through some kind of barrier as she tried to turn to grab for you. The fearful look from before reappeared. You rush forward and grab Mizu's shoulders. Your fingertips feel a strange tingle. You're suddenly repulsed. The staff is a gift from the god, Grand Sulu. Her realm is in the spirit realm. The horrifying truth hits you in the gut. You ask Mizu calmly.
I couldn't in school. In the real world, everything went so wrong. Do you have any idea what it's like to live like a part of a pair? To look exactly like someone with amazing talent and not even get noticed? I spent every day in hell since our parents died. And when I gained these powers, I thought it would finally make us different. Instead, they called me crazy, delusional. And after all that, I still couldn't bring myself to hate her.
You force her body past the barrier, breaking several bones in the process, and pull Mizu to the other side, hugging her tightly. You tell her that the staff can only spawn when the recipient is in love, as that is the requirement.
Yama-kun, it's okay. You don't have to save me this time. It's far too late. Just look.
She holds up her fading hand, each section drifting away into the light. The fireflies still swarming you. Staring into her eyes, you think of Mika. You finally confess those feelings out loud, your words carrying along with the wind and through the trees. Then feeling her fade away, you kiss Mizu passionately. A high whining pitch goes off near your side, and in a brief moment of clarity, you see Mizu scatter into hundreds of fireflies before you're swept from your feet and launched. You open your eyes and see winter trees. Hear the songs of birds in the distance as a fireplace warms the room. Your neck is stiff. You try to move, but it won't budge. You force back tears as the memories come rushing back in. Mizu was gone, and you've lost Mika, it seems, as well. Your interface won't open. You have no clue where you are.
Good morning!
Darling, you're awake now. The fear left your body. A wave of relief eases your mournful heart as both girls surround you. Toro-kun, I'm so happy you finally woke up. It's been a scary few weeks.
おかげさまでまた妹に会える。
As you all converse about your travels, you jokingly bring up that Mizuhime is a high-level mage, but is terrified of slimes.
Have you seen their eyes? They have no souls!
Mika Hoshino, your senpai, grabs you by the chin and kisses you on the lips. Shocked and without words, your only response was to try to get closer. But the bindings for your broken bones won't let you move. You deserve that, after all you did for us. When I heard you shout your feelings, it filled me with joy. But there's still one big road bump in this relationship. Mika climbs on top of you, and zips the top of her blouse, and pulls out a huge blade, rubbing the edge from your navel to your sternum. Why the hell would you possibly kiss my sister first, and not me? Sweetie, that's a bit off, don't you think?
Oh boy, here we go. Good luck with that, bro. Thanks for the save!
You sweat nervously, stumbling on your words as Mika looks on. Her words shining in the winter sun, hauntingly beautiful. You look at the personality tag above her head that reads, Tsundere Complex. You ask yourself, is Hoshino Senpai a Yandere?